seen anything like that.
Wide right.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
The band is out on the field. He's going to go into the end zone. He's going to the end zone. The Bears have won. The Bears have won. Oh, my God. You believe in miracles? Yes.
It's the Davey Mac Sports Program, where we talk the sports and other stuff like nature. Is it me, or does anyone else get aardvarks and anteaters mixed up? Here's the difference. An anteater has a very small mouth designed for consuming insects. Meanwhile, an aardvark has a large mouth that is capable of giving men blowjobs. Trust me, I know. I'm Roy Harder, and here's your host, Mr. Eastside David McDonald.
No, you're not going to get away with that. Did you just claim to have gotten the blowjob from
McDonald? Yes, I did, David.
This is not how we want to start the Davey Mac Sports Program on WrestleMania week, Roy. It's April. It's wrestling time. You got the WrestleMania. And also, in a couple of weeks, you got the big event from IWF. That's the Independent Wrestling Federation. And Davey Mac is going to be there, as I always am. The New Jersey's greatest wrestling manager will be in the house. If you want to attend, get your tickets at campiwf.com. But because it's April, because these major events are right on the doorstep, we got a special guest tonight. Put it together for the master of chaos, Kevin Knights. Kevin.
It is great to be here. Thank you for having me on the Davey Mac Sports Program.
Kevin, now give us a little details. When is it? It's about 2 weeks or so, 2 Saturdays. What's the date of the big event? IWF, lots of stars, lots of fantastic wrestlers, up and coming stars. You got your Hall of Famers, your legends, and of course, Mr. New Jersey, New Jersey's greatest wrestling manager, Eastside Dave McDonald, will be there.
Yeah, right.
Wait. You're telling me that you're going to be there, Dave?
I am. I've been booked. The committee.
Right, I'm out.
Jesus. Do you see how they treat me in Nutley, New Jersey, Roy? But by the way, that's the reaction I get from 98% of the audience every single time I go there. My blonde lady she is front and center, and every single time I actually seek her out. Because in case people don't know, she's a lovely lady. She's got the same blonde perm from 1983. She usually wears a leopard print shirt, but that's not 100%. Sometimes she'll mix it up with a blue t-shirt. Otherwise, it's back to the leopard. I really am obsessed with this woman. She's my number one hater, and any good wrestling manager needs a hater. So I look forward to seeing her. I look forward to seeing you, Kevin, despite that fucking reaction.
Well, North Jersey, you've been forewarned. Saturday, April 15th, Eastside Dave McDonald returns to IWF Wrestling. It's the 26th anniversary.
You know what? I'm going to wear for tonight. Keep going, Kevin.
Do you have pants on? No,
he doesn't. He typically does not wear pants on the show, Kevin. And neither do I, by the way. So.
Fantastic. Well, I might as well join the club then.
Yeah,
right now.
You might as well take yours off as well.
So it's Saturday, April 15th in Nutley in northern New Jersey. Benefit for oh Lord,
Roy, look at that.
Yeah, I love it, David.
Just spent money on this brand new coat. Cost me $18,000. I think every penny went to was beautiful. Look at this. This is real silver right here, Roy. I got this. I got Roy Harder. I got real silver flakes embroidered onto this custom red, very, very rare red velvet fabric. So everything about this coat, $28,000, I believe is what I said, of how much it cost. This is the best $38,000 I've ever spent on a coat. I'm going to tell you right now.
Liberace would be proud.
Now, Kevin, at the big event, you're going to be in attendance. You always put on a tremendous. By the way, got to point out, 95.9 The Rat, my local morning radio station, the biggest radio station in New Jersey, in which for 32 straight books, we've been number one. 32 straight books.
Wow, that's impressive.
Fantastic.
The last 8 years, we've gotten number one. We just got our brand new book. We got a brand new book and number one again. And we do Wrestling on the Rat with Kevin and myself and Roy Harder. It's WRAT.com. And the first Friday of every single month, you get a brand new match as broadcasted by Davey Mac and Roy Harder. If you think Roy Harder's intros are batshit crazy, wait till you hear his wrestling commentary. Kevin, has a play-by-play announcer ever hit the analyst with a 2x4? Because sometimes.
No, and there's a reason why Roy Harder cannot leave his studio, and he has a bracelet strapped to his ankle that gives off an alert whenever he tries to go more than 10 feet out of the studio. So when you watch Wrestling on the Rat, Bobby Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon are rolling over in their graves, listening to the commentary duo of the great Davey Mac.
You would think that, with all due respect, Roy, the funny guy would have gone Bobby Heenan, but Kevin, there's no way I could have trusted Roy to do play-by-play on wrestling commentary. The lack of moves, just the overall lack of knowledge would have been a disaster. So I had to take the play-by-play. I do like how you brought up Gorilla Monsoon and Heenan, because I was actually just talking to Stanley Mac, my son, who wanted to watch his old dad do some, broadcasting Wrestling on the Rat matches. He said, because there's a playlist and everything at 95.9 The Rat on YouTube. So go check that out. We got a great new playlist. All of our wrestling features are there. And he said, let's watch some of the Wrestling on the Rat on YouTube. And then he said, are you doing a Gorilla Monsoon impression? I go, I'm 100% ripping off Gorilla Monsoon. Every time you hear this voice cadence, it's ripping off Gorilla Monsoon. Ready? And Kevin Knight throws, let's see, Kevin, who would be an opponent for you? Give me somebody that you...
Benjamin T. Asher.
Okay, Kevin Knight with the Irish whip on Benjamin T. Asher, and a bench press by Kevin Knight, and this is one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. That's all Gorilla Monsoon. That is totally ripping off Gorilla Monsoon, 100%. That's his cadence, that going up in the air type of thing. That's all me. And dare I say, I believe I'm one of the greatest wrestling announcers right now in America. So I'm going to add that to the ledger as well.
I would agree. You're also the best dressed.
I mean, look at this coat. Cost me $48,000 to get this thing.
Notice how the price keeps going up as this program goes on.
Now, hold on. I hear a little laughter. Is that Big A Andrew Gold?
That is Big A.
Yes,
I didn't
Mr. Champion.
Because a quick little, we got to do a little, we got to point this out very briefly, but Robert is really being the good soldier tonight. He is producing this entire show with a very serious stomach ailment. So I wasn't even sure if Andrew was going to be into his house today, but there he is. Andy, it is WrestleMania week, Daddy. Yes. And I know you're going to be at the Camp IWF. You're always the ringside photographer.
Yes, always.
And I love about Andrew is that North Jersey doesn't know that I've known him for 20 years. So every time that I shit on him, last time I actually called him a fat slob. I thought for me that was like going R-rated. I'll never curse. It's a family-friendly event. But for me, I wanted to go up just a touch, Kevin. Just a touch.
Big A, do we have a response?
Andrew, that's the point. You should be responding to these things.
Telling you, I'm going to, on April 15th, I'm going to bring the heat.
You're going to bring the heat?
I'm going to bring the heat on April 15th.
Let me explain something to you, pal. No photographers, no, bullshit photographers, ringside photographers, touch the stars, touch the talent. You snap your stupid little pictures, you put your name in the goddamn left corner, and you leave me the hell alone. You don't come near me. Okay, if you try anything.
You're a talent?
Oh, wow. That's a singer.
Let me explain something to you, pal. You even come near me on April 15th at the IWF event. I'm going to take that camera and I'm going to smash you in the face with it. And then I'm going to take out all the film and expose it to the sun. So you can't have any of your pictures produced.
Take out the film.
Now, I guess, yeah, I guess in 2023, you'd have to take out the digital card and expose that to the sun.
Kevin's out again.
Kevin's out. No, Kevin's back in. All right, Kevin. So I'm very excited for this. You know me. I love going to the IWF. That's April 15th. Tickets are campiwf.com for tickets. It's going to be fun. It always is. It always is. And the matches are looking great lately. These last batch of matches that were on Wrestling on the Rat had like Scorsese-esque cinematography, I would say. You know, beautiful angles from like around the arena. It was very, very well shot, I thought, Kevin. So I'm really looking forward to this, as always.
Nothing but the best for Eastside Dave and Roy and Big A and Rat Radio. Nothing but the best.
Any people you want to mention now, or are we still keeping some of that a surprise? Any like legends or stars or anything? Or
well, if you go to Camp IWF right now, you could find out what is the triple main event for Saturday, April 15th.
Oh my! Look at that!
Triple, not one, not two, but three main events coming your way.
A triple main event for the first time. Event. Oh my! Roy, this is professional wrestling history right here. This is the type of thing that only legends can be a part of, which is why you are not invited to participate.
Roy, how do you put up with this guy for all these years?
Kevin, do you realize that he was my manager and he just left me high and dry? One day he went on a fucking vacation. He never came back.
He's been in England for 4 years.
Yeah, Kevin, permanent vacation, baby.
You see, Dave, unlike the Yankees and Aaron Boone, you fired your manager.
Kevin, let me ask you a question. Has because this would actually not be a bad gimmick if Roy ever decided to make a reappearance. Has a manager ever had a manager? Like, could Roy be my manager as I managed?
Yeah, I mean, it has happened. I mean, remember your stellar performance in that Royal Rumble a couple of years ago.
No, but that was all that I was, believe it or not, sadly, I was considered the wrestler.
That is
he's only been my manager when I've been sadly the wrestler on the match. He's never.
It didn't go so well in the Royal Rumble. It didn't go so well in arm wrestling. The bodybuilding pose down against Mr. USA Tony Atlas last year was a horrendous disappointment.
Okay, we get
to sum this up. Your tenure in the world of professional wrestling has been a huge embarrassing failure.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I thought, you were going to say you're scratching and clawing. You're on your way up. You're a rising
No, it's
star.
over. Face it.
It's over. Okay.
Yeah,
over.
It's done.
Get out of the business is what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Quit right now.
Quit right now.
That will spare me a lot of pain. And I'm also developing back pain. And I'm blaming Tony Atlas for that, by the way.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any connection yet, but I intend to find some.
Why not? Just blame Tony Atlas. You could blame Roy Harder for that because you have been carrying Roy on this program for at least 8 years.
Yeah.
13 years. Sadly, the Davey Mac Sports Program began in 2010.
Wow.
Yeah, believe it or
And then
not.
the Inside Dave show, we had a psychedelic sabbatical, and now it's back to the DMSP. Hey, Kevin, there is something I want to bring up with wrestling and with the fact that WrestleMania is this Saturday. Andy Kaufman has been inducted will get inducted on Saturday into the WWE Hall of Fame. What are Kevin's thoughts about this? Actually, right behind me is a picture right at the bottom. Let me go get it.
Andy Kaufman's behind you?
Is Lawler
That's where he's been hiding all these years.
This is a picture signed by Jerry Lawler for Davey Mac, and it is the Andy Kaufman, Jerry Lawler incident on David Letterman, where Lawler slapped Kaufman in the face. And Jerry Lawler, the king of Memphis wrestling, actually signed this for the Dave Man. This is one of my most prized possessions. which is why I thumbtack it an inch from the ground behind me. So maybe I should.
Now, when are you going to go out and get Andy Kaufman to sign that?
Yeah.
He's not
Sadly,
dead.
I can still get Dave, but yeah. Well, I mean, unless he's alive, unless he makes his appearance at the WWE Hall of Fame.
How great would that be?
That was the greatest 40-year prank of all time. I mean, that would be the most amazing thing in the history of probably life.
You know what, Dave? That would be something great for you if you disappear for 40 years.
Oh, Andrew.
I'm just throwing that out there.
Andrew, do you see how he insults me? Big A loves it. Big A loves it when he insults me because the fucking photographer, he always takes Kevin's side.
Kevin's the best.
You call one person a fat slob at the last IWF event, and it's like everyone in Nutley, New Jersey, and Andrew Gold hates you for some stupid reason. I was just, talking. That's what I have to do. It's my job.
What was the budget for this program cut? How come Big A does not have the cool little neon box around his screen there?
He didn't pay his electric bill.
Has inflation hit the Davey Mac Sports Program?
We had to take his stripes away. It's like the Army. He got demoted. He was caught. He was caught going to the mess hall and stealing food after hours. So
Big A ran out of quarters.
Yeah. So we had to Gomer Pyle his ass. Roy and I had to put soap in some socks and smash Andrew in the head with it while he was sleeping.
To me, it looks like it's a slimmer, trimmer Big A.
No, he actually Andrew's in great shape.
Why you laughing at that, David?
I'm paying the man a compliment, you savage animal.
He laughs.
That was my initial, Joker-esque reaction to life when I laugh at inappropriate
You're
things.
A terrible human being.
I know. I am. Actually, Andrew does look great, which is why I can't even call him a fat slob anymore. I'm gonna have to come up with some other insulting imagery.
A thin slob?
That's a weird thing. You never hear anyone being called a thin slob. Hey, like Roy Harder, I think would qualify for being a thin slob. I'm gonna start saying that.
Wow.
Today, I admit,
nobody that you won't steamroll over.
Well, Kevin, has the guy given up? He used to have just like me, a $68,000 coat. He used to have the sunglasses, the designer hats. He's got a fucking sweat. He looks like Ben Affleck on day 27 in rehab. What is this? The sweatshirt, the fucking nothing.
Listen, I had such a hectic day today. I literally could not even get dressed for the show today. I barely put in my contact lenses.
You couldn't get dressed for the show. You put on a coat. What does that take you? 4 seconds?
The coat is up. It's 3 flights upstairs. I didn't want to be the last one.
It's your house.
Right now is a great moment for me to go into the Aaron Rodgers darkness retreat.
No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. I want to ask you exactly what your feelings are about Andy Kaufman. I mean, did you ever like that? Did you like that segment?
Yes.
I mean, obviously, you grew up in Jersey like me, but if you love professional wrestling, you know about that for quite some time. You're well aware of the story. What did you think? What was the impact of that?
As a kid growing up, I remember reading about what Andy Kaufman had done in Memphis, and it wasn't until the later years when the WWE started putting out all the DVDs about the old days of wrestling past and the wrestling history, and I thought it was fantastic. His involvement was great, and a little known fact, Vince McMahon Sr. was approached, Vincent Kennedy McMahon's father, who was the owner and promoter of the WWF before Vince McMahon, who we all know now, turned down Andy Kaufman's request and idea to participate in the WWF in New York. That's why then he brought the idea down to Memphis and Jerry Lawler and Jimmy Hart.
Isn't that insane? Isn't that crazy? Wow. Because like Vince and Kennedy McMahon would have dove at that opportunity in a second. It would only be literally 2 years later when Vince would start working with Cyndi Lauper and Mr. T and all of these celebrities. And I can't believe that Vince Kennedy McMahon wasn't able to get his dad to say, what are you doing? This guy is on. I mean, Taxi was the #1 sitcom on the air. Mm-hmm. Like Cheers had not hit yet. It like Taxi very much was 78 to 83 was Taxi's era. And then by 85, like Cheers would take that role as like the number one beloved American sitcom. But Taxi was the shit. And Andy Kaufman was the Kramer. And, Vincent, the old man, didn't see that. That's shocking to me.
His
and
appearance
also
on Saturday Night Live.
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's been multiple documentaries, so I'm getting them a little bit confused right now. You've got the A&E thing, you've got the Tales from the Territories. I don't know which one is which, but one thing that I never knew and I thought was really interesting was this slap right here was actually Andy Kaufman's idea. That he called up Lawler the night before and said, what would happen if you slapped me? Because they had gotten this idea. This is what the Letterman people wanted. They wanted Andy and Lawler to apologize to one another. And then Andy was going to get up and sing What the World Needs Now is Love, Sweet Love. And that's actually how they were going to do that segment. And Kaufman called up Lawler the night before, apparently, was like, did you hear what they want us to do? And he's like, well, how about just you slapping me instead? And apparently, according to Lawler, he said, no, I can't do that, Andy. I'll get arrested. They won't show the footage because it's taped. But Lawler thought the segment needed some punch the next day. And because he thought it needed some punch, he got up and hit the most vicious. That's the most vicious open-handed slap like I've ever.
It makes Will Smith look like nothing.
Yeah, nothing. No, honestly, nothing. That is an open-handed slap. That is real man slap right there. Like, that's a slap you could probably concuss someone with how Jerry Lawler hit Andy Kaufman. That flush, that hard. Oh, my Lord. That was seriously.
It's something that Roy's been waiting many years to do to you, Dave.
Bring it, Roy Harder. You know what happens with me now that it's April? I'm pumping the iron, baby.
Oh,
Are you
yeah,
you're
back.
I'm in my training. It started on Saturday.
What do? You take the winters off or something?
I take a few months off. I'm a wrestling star. I'm allowed to have a vacation.
It takes more than three weeks to get in shape for a professional sporting event.
Oh my God! I think that was Robert.
Is he speaking from the toilet or something?
Well, he's throwing up. He's got nausea. Kevin. Hi, Kevin.
Well, he has been listening to this program.
Another thing. All right, let's do a little sports for a second. This is a viral clip that's going around right now that's making me laugh. The umpire clearly was hungover or something and just woke up.
I saw this.
Yeah, go watch this. This is great. So apparently this umpire didn't like the fact that when the ump was trying to put the ball back into the catcher's mitt after just a rudimentary pitch. I believe this is Real Muto of the Phillies.
I don't like that call.
And now he misses the glove. The umpire throws him out of the game.
It felt like Realmuto took his glove out of the way, and I think Realmuto didn't sense that the ball was on its way, so he just figured the umpire was throwing it back to the mound.
Rewind again. Let's see that again. This is totally insane.
Kimbrough says, I don't like that call. Now, here's the action right here.
He throws him out.
The umpire felt like Realmuto took his glove out of the way, and I think Realmuto didn't sense that the ball was on its way, so he just figured the umpire was throwing it back to the mound.
What the hell's wrong with this guy?
I mean, what is seriously wrong with this fucking guy? Just stop it right there. And you motherfuckers are against me and against my idea of the fucking robo-umps at home. I am sick and tired of these fucking weirdo baseball fans who go, oh, you know, the human error is fun. It's not fucking fun. Not when your catcher is getting thrown out of the game because the umpire is some fucking either hungover or just that fucking bad attitude dick. And 150 low strikes on Aaron Judge throughout the course of a season, that's not a made-up number. That's how many pitches were 3 inches lower than his knees that were called for strikes on Judge. Watching that for an entire season sucks. It's not good for the product. Ultimately, everything is a product. And if you have a K zone, or if you have a way of improving the efficiency of the game, they're doing it across the board with all of these other things. No more shifts, pitch clocks, this and that. Fuck it. Get rid of them. It's got to be the K zone. And if you're an umpire and you're ejecting a guy because he missed the ball or you thought he took his glove away on purpose, what would the point of that be?
Doesn't even make sense.
I think he thought that Real Muto was screwing with him by taking his glove away. But that's insane. No one does that.
Yeah. He wasn't even looking at it. He had his hand back like this. And how is he supposed to see the umpire behind him? He probably thought he threw it.
He thought. So what he's doing is reaching back, expecting the umpire to put the ball in his glove. If it doesn't happen after a couple seconds, he figures the ball's not coming and that the umpire is going to throw the ball out to the pitcher himself. So he puts the glove up there and says, okay, the ball's not coming. I guess the guy's got to dig around for a new ball, and then he'll throw it out to the pitcher himself.
You could tell it was real because his reaction was not a reaction of anger. It was a reaction of surprise. Like, what are you doing? Confusion. Yes, it wasn't anger. So that right there is the key.
I tell you, if baseball doesn't understand that they have a fucking issue with these home plate umpires, all they do is screw up the game. It's always the home plate umpire, maybe because they got all that equipment on. But it's always a home plate umpire who's hearing things from a dugout and kicking out a manager or a player, and because he can't let something go or this or that. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the home plate umpire egos.
It makes me think, like, why do they?
And let me just say this for a second: the umpires union has the goddamn audacity to say we'll be opposed robo umps because it threatens our jobs. Your job should be threatened. You guys suck. You blow fucking calls all the time, and you kick a star. JT Real Muto's a star. Yeah. You're kicking him out of the game for that?
You know what would elevate the sport? You remove the umpires, you put it back in the hands of the fans, in the people watching. Was it a strike? Let's take a vote. Raise your hand if you think it was a strike.
Well, they just took measures to shorten baseball games, Roy. I think that would be counterproductive if you have to do a vote.
Maybe we just make it 2 innings. Huh?
Roy wants to run a Twitter poll every time there's a pitch. The game will only be 38 hours long. Big A, Andrew Gold. What's your opinion about these umpires? Should we kill them all?
Yes.
Okay, Andrew. That was a test. I don't actually advocate murder of umpires. That was a test to see if you're still a psycho.
Umpires are
you failed that test,
awful.
Andrew.
Okay, Andrew, I told you to get the antipsychotic medication refilled. Okay? The fact that you failed that test about the killing umpires tells me that you did not get your bottles refilled. Please refill them.
Okay, Mr. Champion.
Okay. Kevin, and by the way, Kevin, let me explain something to you. Under my system, under the Davey Mac program, I'm actually going to be adding jobs because I will put a 5th umpire up there in the booth. He will look at the K zone. K zone says ball or strike. He hits a microphone. He hits a thing. It just simply says ball or strike into an earpiece. The home plate umpire still is back there. Why? Because you still need the entire stadium to know what was it a ball and strike. You need the people in the house. So there's actually a reason. And calls at the plate, bunts. There's still enough for the home plate umpire to be there. He's just not doing the ball and strike call anymore. Under my system, I'll be adding jobs. I don't know what the fucking issue is here. Kevin.
As much as I hate to admit it, I agree with you, Dave. It is time for robo-umps in Major League Baseball. I was against it for the longest time, but now that you see the K zone on the TV during the Major League Baseball broadcasts, the home plate umpiring, right? You have one job.
It's awful.
You have one job. The strike zone.
It's only a matter of time before they replace not only the umps, but the players as well. This AI is going to take everything.
Wait, you're saying robots are going to be playing Major League Baseball soon?
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah.
Like Transformers or?
I don't know what they're going to look like. I just know what they're going to think like. They're going to be AI.
I could understand like a guy like Bumblebee being a good bunter and then he transforms into a little car to go down to first base.
Now you're thinking, David. Now you're thinking.
I mean, it's not I would draft a couple Transformers if I could. I don't want C-3PO up there. I mean, no mobility, no legs, no power.
What if they all look like Barry Bonds?
I mean, I need a robot, though, that's going to work for the Dave man. Certain robots, Roy Harder. You want R2 up there? He's not.
No, you want like an Optimus Prime or something, Optimus
Prime, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't need BB-8 from Star Wars. No fucking hands.
That's ridiculous, David. Come on.
He does have a hand. He's got like a little lighter that he uses for thumbs up. Kevin, it's a sports show. It's a wrestling show at times. Best sports star. What's the best sports star in wrestling? Moment, match, anything at all, where a legitimate sports star enters the world of professional wrestling. Although I believe professional wrestling is also a legitimate sport. I maintain that. But you know what I'm saying. Someone from the sports of baseball, basketball, football, hockey, etc.
Oh, I know a good one, actually.
Well, hold on. Kevin's up first, you fucking line-skipping bastard.
I would have to say the greatest performance of all time from a sports star in professional wrestling had to be Lawrence Taylor, WrestleMania 11 against Bam Bigelow in Hartford, Connecticut.
Yeah, he took mine.
LT versus Bam Bam Bigelow was huge. The old word on the street is that LT didn't ask to get paid a lot, wanted the WWE to give him like a golfing, like trips to like big time golf courses.
What, like a Trump resort?
I mean, they gave him a little cash, but yeah, he was more interested in, book me on these like, 3 or 4 like top flight golfing like country clubs that he felt like he couldn't get into. He's an avid golfer, Lawrence Taylor.
Why? Because he's a football player? They wouldn't let him in the country club? Or what's that about?
Well, I mean, some of these clubs are a little bit antiquated and they have their rules.
Oh, I see what you're getting at, Dave.
No, I'm just saying. I'm not getting at anything. This was what I heard of that LT actually asked for. He said, hey, you don't have to pay me $10 million. Give me $1 million and then get me into these 5 or 6 country clubs, like book me for a 3 days of golfing over there, And because Vince McMahon and the WWE could do that, that's what they did. I would say for me, I love the Pete Rose getting tombstoned and choke slammed by Kane, the Big Red Machine. The fact that the Hit King can't get into the Baseball Hall of Fame, but he can get choke slammed by a 7-foot mask wearing wrestler is hysterical to me for some reason.
And isn't Pete Rose in the WWE Hall of Fame?
He is. He got into the WWE Hall of Fame. That's one hall he got into. I met Pete Rose in Las Vegas. He was just sitting there waiting for people to come up to him and get an autograph. They have him just sitting there in one of those, like, just like right there in the main concourse where you're walking around.
Yeah.
And they have him like roped off. And it's almost like a wax museum statue come to life. There was no one actually there getting Pete Rose's autograph. And he was just sitting there roped off for some reason.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was very crazy. It was nuts, actually.
What about Brock Lesnar? Was he an athlete before his?
That counts. I suppose that counts. That's MMA, and
he wasn't professional though. He wrestled in college.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And then he went to the WWE, then left the WWE to go to the UFC, and then came back.
Okay, right. So there's that doesn't really count, I guess. Yeah.
No, maybe not. Kevin, shut that down. Andrew, do you have any?
Ronda Rousey?
Ronda Rousey counts.
Yeah.
That counts.
Oh, very good.
She was UFC first and then WWE. Now, no one's bringing up Muhammad Ali. Not only, Muhammad Ali did a lot in wrestling. He was a special guest referee in WrestleMania 1. He was a part of, I just watched a Tales from the Territories, and Jake Roberts had something to do with him. And then, of course, Ali versus Inoki. It was the first ever wrestler versus boxer match that Ali did. And they said his knees got screwed up because Inoki was kicking him in the knees and gave him blood clots.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah. that he was kicking him. He was kicking Ali for real life in the legs, and that caused some blood clots and actually did some real damage to Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, I think those blood clots moved up to his brain.
Oh my!
Well, didn't he have like a CTE or something like that? I mean,
He
how did
had
that happen?
Parkinson's disease.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought
Yeah.
it was from the
Oh,
Kevin,
carry on.
I don't know if I could. I mean,
No,
Roy,
you
you are delightfully twisted. You know that?
it's too much sometimes. Kevin, I don't know if you know, but this man was a legend from the New York Knickerbockers, and his name is Willis Reed, and he died
Yeah, I saw that.
recently. That's a big deal. Willis Reed, of course, won 2 championships, and the Knicks haven't won bupkis since him and Walt Frazier left the team. And of course, he basically broke his leg in the NBA Finals in 1970, 69/70 season. And he came walking out onto the court for Game 7, hit 2 shots. Everyone went nuts. Knicks win Game 7, and that was the big deal. One of the all-time iconic moments, really, in New York sports history, I think. You know, I mean, that one is up there with maybe a Messier Stanley Cup, with maybe the Giants win the pennant.
I was about to say, I'm
Bobby
surprised we didn't use it in
Thompson's
our open. Yep.
1951, the Giants win the pennant. Maybe even Boone, home run, walk-off against Red Sox. Buckner against the Mets is a big deal. Giants, Scott Norwood, wide right, I think, or Eli, Tyree catch. Namath, certainly. Where does Willis Reed rank, Kevin, for you?
I mean, it has to be right up top of the list. That was a pretty good list, Dave. I'm impressed with you.
Yeah,
And sports knowledge.
My sports knowledge is beyond compare. I try telling everyone this. I'm probably the most thorough sports historian, broadcaster, and analyst in human history.
People, athletes and competitors like Willis Reed come around once in a lifetime, and it just shows you how good he was, because since he retired from playing basketball, as you mentioned, the Knicks have been a joke. They're right up there with the Jets.
Horrendous,
in not having won a championship in 50 plus years.
Yeah.
So he was a winner, something the Knicks haven't had a winner. I mean, you could make the exception and say Patrick Ewing.
Ewing was good, but he never had any help.
Early 90s, he'd never had any help.
Never had any help. Never had that second Hall of Famer. Michael Jordan had a second or third Hall of Famer. Steph Curry has. LeBron James has. Kevin Durant has. Everyone who had Magic, Larry. You could go right up and down the list, and you cannot name one secondary Hall of Famer for Patrick Ewing. You just can't. John Starks isn't in the Hall of Fame. Charles Oakley isn't there. Anthony Mason, Greg Anthony,
Jeremy Lin.
Yeah, but I mean, Ewing was retired by now, let's talk turkey. Who wants to talk turkey? Huh?
Let's get down to brass tacks.
All right. White meat, dark meat. Turkey. Favorite kind.
I'm a vegetarian. I don't know. What
You're
does that mean?
when did that happen?
I've been a vegetarian for the past 5 years, David. I don't know if you've never noticed.
No.
Yeah, man.
I guess that set of Omaha steaks you sent to Roy for Christmas went to waste.
It went to my dogs.
I saw you eating some salami one time.
No. That's not supposed to be talked about here on the broadcast. Family show.
Oh, all right. Different kind, I suppose. I'm actually in shock. I didn't think you were a proper. You told me you eat fish.
Listen, all right. I'll eat fish and veal, but that's it.
What the fuck is this? He's not a vegetarian, Kevin. See, everyone thinks I'm the crazy one.
He's a Fugazi vegetarian.
Yeah, you're totally Fugazi.
Roy, I think somebody blew your pilot light out.
It's so crazy today. Making boasts like he's a vegetarian. And then I'm like, oh, I don't think that's the case. He's like, 5 years, David. Okay, I eat little cows. I eat fish. I eat fucking people. I eat gerbils. I eat turtles.
I eat anything that starts with the letter V. I thought that's what a vegetarian was. Vegetables and veal.
You have an honesty issue.
Yeah.
And Andrew Gold, could you ever go vegan or vegetarian?
No way.
No way, says Andy.
No way.
I know. You know why? Kevin, because he actually eats the hookers from Hunts Point. That's what he does.
Hair and all.
He fillets them. Yeah. After they're tied to his radiator for 12 hours, he says they're nice and ready. So that's how he prepares. He prepares them. He puts bucket of breadcrumbs on them while they're tied to the radiator. And then 12 hours later, he eats them. He does. He eats them all. Doesn't he, Andrew? You're like the giant, fee, fi, fo, fum. I'm gonna eat some street walking woman. Now
soon they'll come out with a substitute for his prostitutes, like some fake meat substitute, almost hooker. Almost whore or something.
I don't think this. I didn't see this topic on the agenda for tonight's show.
Kevin,
did you guys send me the wrong outline?
No, the show prep.
Hooker.
The show prep that I send out is very much just a suggestion at this point. There's very little. If things get off the rails.
I don't need this then.
Yeah, each and every episode. We usually can throw that away. No, I'll give you a little something here. The fact is, Davey Mac called something once again. I told you, you people, that Kyrie Irving was not going to be helping the Dallas Mavericks. I told you. And here you go. Ready? Last 10 games, the Dallas Mavericks are 3-7. And right now, if the playoffs began today, they would miss the playoffs. They're 11th in the West. Top 10 teams make the playoffs. Teams 7 through 10 have to play a play-in series, but they wouldn't even make that. I told you Kyrie Irving is a cancer. I told you there was no way he could work with Luka. And I'm not even talking about the batshit stuff that Kyrie says, the insanely selfish behavior, the narcissism, the ego. I'm talking strictly from a basketball standpoint. How is that ever going to work unless somehow you were able to multiply basketballs and allow the game of basketball to be played with like 3 or 4 balls at a time? Because they both need the ball in their hand. So how is that going to work? I need to know how that's going to work. It's not working.
I actually think you're onto something there, David, with those 3 balls in the court. That sounds like a lot of fun. I'd watch that.
I mean, it would be a little chaotic, Roy.
Robot baseball players and 3 basketballs on the court at a time in the NBA.
Listen, it's the future. What are you going to do?
Hey.
I mean, maybe one day we'll try. One day we'll do an on location. We'll do Davey Mac Sport and Davey Mac's New Sports, and we come up with just alterations of sports, and we shoot it, and we shoot it, and we put it all on the DMSP. That's not a terrible idea.
I like the sound of that. Yeah.
All right. Let's think about this. So Aaron Rodgers and the Packers and the Jets, this thing can't get done. What's this all about?
It will get done.
Well, how come it's not getting done already?
Hey, either Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback of the Jets or it's going to be me. So we don't want that to happen. We don't want that to happen. So the deal will get done.
Hold on, Kevin. I got something for you.
It's a month till the draft.
Forget about him. Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
just came out today. It just came out in the news today that Lamar Jackson has requested to be traded from the Baltimore Ravens. There's no reason why the Jets should not be contacting Lamar Jackson, because this will serve as an impetus for the Packers to get this thing done. Otherwise, the Jets say, hey, you guys are going to drag your feet. We're going to give our money to Lamar. So there's no reason for the Jets, and I know you're a Jets guy, Kevin. There's, in my opinion, no reason for the Jets not to be exploring Lamar Jackson right now, even if they're only using it for leverage to get the Rodgers deal done.
I agree. The clock is ticking on the Green Bay Packers.
It is, right?
Yes.
Uh-oh, my phone just shut off. Hey, Roy.
Yes, David.
What do you think about Aaron Rodgers, pal?
About Aaron Rodgers, well, I just want to know when this asshole is going to get traded to the Jets. What can I say? You know,
I just said that. That's what I just said. That was my diatribe. You added nothing.
Nice, Roy? Is that nice?
He added nothing. You added nothing to the conversation.
I'm going back into the darkness.
When I agree with you, what do you want me to say?
Just say, I agree with you, Mr. David. You're always the wisest sports commentator of all time. And I'm starting to feel like that is the case. Kevin?
Yes.
It's so nice to see you. Are we going to be at odds in a few weeks?
We're gonna see. We're gonna see. I mean, your quest to capture the IWF heavyweight title or the IWF Tag Team Championship or the IWF American Championship is never ending. So we'll see.
I'm desperate. I'm desperate for a win. Yeah, I'm desperate for a win. I'm desperate for a championship. I do think it could happen on April 15th. Tickets, campiwf.com. I really think it could happen. Okay, I think this is going to be my moment. I think New Jersey sees me sort of like the WWE sees Cody Rhodes. You know, this extremely handsome. Yeah, handsome savior. I mean, $78,000 clothing that they like to wear.
What's that? The inflation, the interest keeps going up on the cost of your job.
I don't know what you're talking about, Kevin.
It was 16,000 when the show started.
March Madness.
Okay.
My boy, Danny Hurley, has gotten Jersey City's Danny Hurley has gotten UConn into the Final Four. Here's your Final Four matchups. Not a lot of famous teams here. Roy Harder's going to be like, what the hell? Roy Harder's going to think I'm reading off like an airport screen. Florida Atlantic plays San Diego State, and then Connecticut will take on Miami. It's the first time Florida Atlantic, San Diego State, and Miami have even been in the Final Four. So you're getting 3 teams having their first experience. But I'm excited by UConn because Danny Hurley of Jersey City went to St. Anthony's and then went to Seton Hall. His father, he has a father and a brother, both famous. Bobby Hurley Sr. is considered to be probably the greatest high school coach of all time, certainly in New Jersey, maybe in America. And he coached at St. Anthony's. Meanwhile, his brother, Bobby Hurley Jr., was a star at Duke, won back-to-back championships for Coach K. And he's now a coach as well. I actually went to Bobby Hurley's senior basketball camp. And I'll never forget, a fight broke out between two campers. They were getting fights. And like Bobby and Danny, fisticuffs. And Bobby and Danny Hurley came in and broke them up and said, "You twos are going to go to our father." Like they're the 2 most Jersey guys of all time. They go, "You twos are going to talk to our father," because, no fighting, But I actually got to meet Bobby Hurley and Danny Hurley with that little interaction.
Were you one of the fighters, David?
No. I was not one of the fighters. I was just standing around. I was watching it. I was having a good time.
Just checking.
But Bobby and Danny Hurley made eye contact with me, and I'm pretty sure I heard Danny whispering to Bobby, "Someday that little redhead's going to grow up to be the greatest manager in the state of New Jersey." And look at me now, Danny and Bob. Look at the coat. Look at this coat, baby. Kevin.
How much did that coat cost you?
This was $88,000.
$88,000.
I had to get it personally upholstered. I had to get it upholstered from Japan. Do coats get upholstered, or is that just a couch? I'm not.
No, they get upholstered. Don't worry, dude. You're on it.
Andrew, are you excited? Do you still watch WrestleMania?
Probably not.
Probably not. I know
not.
Bobo sometimes watches. I figured you might go over to Bobo's house.
Who?
Bobo?
Who?
Your friend Bobo?
Who?
Oh, wow.
Oh, what's going on? Do we have some controversy here?
No, because...
Speaking of Bobo, he was in the chat throwing Roy under the bus. Roy ate a burger when we went to Donovan's together.
Yes!
It was a veal burger. It was a veal burger.
I love you.
We knew you.
Bobo, 55 points. He tried to make me out look like the fucking crazy guy live on YouTube.
Actually, I can explain that burger because that was a very specific incident. That burger, I told Bobo this too. I said, "Listen, I'm a vegan, and I haven't eaten meat in the past 5 years. I'm going to eat this burger on your recommendation. And I got to tell you that Donovan's burger was one of the best burgers I've ever eaten.
This is such bullshit. No one
bullshit.
who is really a vegan or a vegetarian just loses their principles because some fucking moronic Mets fan recommends him a burger.
I don't have principles, David. You should know that.
I knew you were lying. But then you say things and you make me doubt myself and doubt my reality. I'm like, well, maybe he is a vegetarian.
I am a vegetarian. Well, I eat fish and veal. That's it, literally. And an occasional burger if it's like a highly
vegetarian. Oh my God.
You ate a burger, you ate veal, you eat fish, and I am almost positive. I wasn't joking around. I thought I saw you eating some salami one time.
No, I didn't. I would never touch salami. Let me ask you this: how many days a month do you eat meat?
Every goddamn day. What else am I supposed to eat? For fuck's sake, I don't know what else to eat.
I eat 0, unless it's a special occasion.
I don't have anything. I don't know how to make stuff. I know how to make pork chops. I can do that very well. That's my go-to dish. You ever want to come over and have some pork chops? It's on me, Roy Harder.
If they're highly recommended, I will try them.
If they're highly recommended. So once again, you'll throw out your veganism.
Oh yeah. I'm no extremist. I don't want to be militant about it. I'm not one of those nut jobs,
Well,
Kevin, do you eat the meat? Do you eat the vegetarian?
I am not a vegetarian.
Okay.
I'm looking up Bobo's comment here in the chat.
He's gotten those 50 points are very well deserved for throwing Roy under the bus like that. I just love that so much. You tried to portray me as the insane person 10 minutes ago. Kevin, I love that hat. Can I get one of those IWF hats? I've never been a hat guy.
Yeah, these are cool.
But I'm thinking of starting.
Oh, I like it. Yeah.
You got one for Davey?
Maybe, yes.
Yeah.
If one of your men wins on April 15th, how about that?
All right, I'll take that.
There's a bet.
I'll take that, Andrew. Andrew, are you going to be there?
Oh, hell yeah.
Of course.
Hell yeah. I'm going to be there ringside. Bring it.
Let me tell you something. When I walk to the ring, here's what I want you to do. I want you to get out of my fucking way.
Nope. Nope.
You understand?
Nope.
You are terrible.
I take my orders. Kevin's night only.
No. He says no.
I take
Kevin.
my orders. Kevin's night only.
Kevin.
No, Big A. You're your own man. You take orders from nobody.
Kevin.
You're your own man.
I'm the star.
Oh.
I'm New Jersey's greatest wrestling manager of all time. I want that. I want Andrew out of my vicinity
Allegedly.
when I'm walking to the ring.
Allegedly.
I want him cornered off. Like the animal that he is. I want him put in a goddamn room like the Elephant Man.
No wonder why Robert has gastrointestinal issues.
He's getting through it. You know what? We're almost done. I told Robert we're going to have a fast show today because he's been throwing up every single 7 minutes, mainly because of the things Roy Harder's been saying.
Is it projectile vomiting?
I don't know. I don't want to. I've been there.
Oh, if it is, it'd be perfect for the show. Stay under the screen.
You know what? Robert, Kevin's right. Try to film yourself. We'll play it next week.
Kicking a man when he's down. That's why we're here.
No, that's it. We're going to get out of here. Kevin, it's campiwf.com.
Dave, wait, you were right about one more thing we got to talk about. Did you see who's starting at shortstop for the Yankees opening day?
I did not. Have they made the decision that I'm looking for with Mr. Volpe? Have they made that decision?
I thought you said.
Oh, here we go. Let's see.
All right.
Fingers crossed.
All right.
This is Anthony Volpe, Roy, Yankees' top prospect. We want him to be our opening day shortstop, but we don't know if he's made the team yet.
Played your ass off, okay? And, we talked about at the start of this being a competition, and you killed it. But at the end of the day, you got 20-something games at AAA. There's always room for development, but at the end, I think that development should happen in the big leagues. Welcome to New York.
Oh, yeah!
Yes.
Congratulations, brother.
That's phenomenal.
You earned it.
Oh, that's phenomenal. I'll tell you what, there's nothing better than baseball. We got baseball this Thursday, baby. We got opening day this Thursday. And I got my shortstop, Anthony Volpe, number 77. Boom. I'm really excited. Baseball is on its way. Kevin, you're a Mets fan. How far are the Mets going this year? Let's go.
Well, my season's already over because Francisco did.
Because
Edwin Diaz, yeah.
That was insane. Edwin Diaz going down with a season-ending injury because of the World Baseball Classic.
And we don't have a third baseman.
Call up David Wright. Get him back.
He retired, Dave.
I know. Andrew Gold. I always
Although
forget.
he'd be our best option at third base.
No, he would. Andrew, Yankees fan? You're a Mets fan or a Yankees fan? Which one? Yankees. Are you excited by Volpe?
Oh, very happy.
Yeah. This young man is unbelievable. I believe he hit .314 in spring, 3 home runs, and plays dazzling glove in the field. So I'm very excited for that. All right, look, we're going to get out of here. CampIWF.com for the tickets. That is where you need to go. You need to be going to North Jersey on April 15th. Woo. It's a Saturday. Yes. I'll be there. Big A Andrew Gold will be snapping the photographs. The Master of Chaos, Kevin Knight, will be there. It's always a fun event. These shows are absolutely tremendous. We have so much fun. The people have fun. CampIWF.com for tickets. Kevin, final thoughts?
All proceeds from that event benefit American Cancer Society.
Look at this. Come. Unbelievable. I'll do it then.
Dave, I just hope that your presence at the event does not chase fans away. we want to raise as much money as we can for American Cancer Society. Yeah. So despite the fact that Dave will be there, please still come out and support the event.
I mean, honestly, it's 50-50. I may have chased some of them away, but hopefully there'll be new ones. That's pretty much my whole career, my whole life. You chase them away, but then you bring others in. Kevin,
when one door closes, the shoe's on the other foot.
That's the Davey Mac story, baby. Listen, that'll do it. Big A Andrew Gold, I love you so much.
Yes, Mr. Champion.
You've done a wonderful job tonight. Robert Tamburo, you've won yourself the Tough Soldier Award for putting on
diarrhea and all.
This episode
championed his way through.
We don't even know where. Yeah, we don't know where Robert was. We figure it might have actually been. He might have been producing on the toilet.
Yeah.
That's why he's not on camera. Roy Harder, beautiful to see you as always, even though you do look like a thin slob. And the Master of Chaos, Kevin Knight. Does anyone bring the pain and bring the thunder like Kevin Knight? I say no.
I'm going back to my darkness treat now.
Yeah, it was a great episode. I'll see you, Kevin, in a few weeks. April 15th, CampIWF.com for tickets. Andrew, Roy, Robert, Kevin, thank you all so much. I'm Davey Mac.